Hello, welcome, my crafting friends. I am so happy you are here today. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. So kind of you to tune in to my weekly live. I truly missed all of you last week. If you saw my post, I had an eye appointment last week, and so I was unable to have a live video with you. But today I am back, and I am going to share how to make these gorgeous cards with you. At least I think they turned out gorgeous. Hi, Keisha, welcome. So what we are going to do is we are going to have kind of a little coloring lesson. If you want to see how to use the Stampin Blends with this Fruitful Blessings stamp set, we're going to go over that. And then also, I don't know which one is better to look at, but do you see this beautiful embossed tag here in the background? We're going to make that together, and I'm going to give you some tips and tell you what I did to create that. So I think we are just pretty much at the top of the hour, and that means I can go ahead and say, hello, welcome. This is Patty Bennett. So happy that you're here. I am going to take just about 30 seconds to welcome the people who are joining live. So today is September 8th on my weekly Friday live Facebook videos. And if you're watching a replay, that's your cue to skip ahead just a couple of minutes or just a minute or so, and then you won't miss a thing. So hello to Jolene, Lois, Linda, Rosie, Colleen, Polly, Mary, Janet, Keisha. Oh my goodness, and it says, and 29 others. So hello, everyone. I'm so happy that you're here. Oh, I see some hearts. That's so kind of you. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Christine. Oh, from Sydney, Australia. My goodness, what time is it there? You must be in the future. You must already be in tomorrow. Hi, Linda. Welcome. All righty. Oh, and from Scotland, my goodness. Hello, Karen. So nice of you to be with us. My goodness, from all over. That's like as far as you can get around the world, right? Thank you so much. So sweet of you. So we are going to go ahead and get started. And today, like I mentioned, these cards feature our Fruitful Blessings bundle. This is new from Stampin Up, and I knew the minute I saw this image, I really wanted to color this. It just reminds me of fall. It reminds me of the mums in my mom's garden when I was a little girl. I'm not sure if that's a chrysanthemum, but it reminds me of one. And this is the time of year that they always bloomed in my mom's garden. And I can still smell it. Like, does that ever happen to you when you think of a memory, you can smell the smell? Does that sound weird? But anyway, I can just close my eyes and smell the bouquet of chrysanthemums that she would cut. And so anyway, I just had to have this. And so I have used it today in our cards. And I'll show you that with the dies, you can die cut that image, which I've done today. This will die cut the acorns, which we've also used today. I have not yet used the pears, but it has a die. And then I also did use this die today to cut some extra little greenery. Excuse me. There are also acorn dies so that you can cut out more acorns if you want to. This is a nice leaf image you could use really almost like any time of year on any project. Does not have a stamp though. I did use these extra leaves, and then I haven't used the corn yet, but I'm eager to because this is just really something unique and different that doesn't even go with the stamp. I mean, there isn't a stamp to go with it, but it's like a bonus. So those are the dies. And I realized I have not done one of those little inspiration sampler sheets in a while. I guess there was so many new things in the catalog that it kind of got away from me, but I hope that helps to give you sort of a visual. And if you're looking for it in the holiday well, I call it the holiday catalog. It's this one with the green cover. I believe its official name is the Mini Catalog September to December 2023. I call it the holiday catalog because I've been with Stampin' Up for so long that it's still the holiday catalog to me. But this is the set right here. And if you want to save the 10%, you'd use this ordering code 162210, and that will give you 10% off purchasing the die and the stamp set together. So you'll notice as we do our coloring later in the end of the video that I sort of used some inspiration from the colors that Stampin' Up has on their page because, you know, they're the professional artists, so why not use them as inspiration? We are also using the new Distressed Tile embossing folder. You've seen me profile this in the product review that we did, 6 weeks ago or so, but we will be using it today to create these tags. You see, I've got my blends ready to go. We are also going to be using this. I don't know if you've seen this or used this. This is in the annual catalog, Metallic Enamel Effects. I kind of view it almost as a paint. I'm going to show you how I used the gold. So you can see it's gold. So there's gold, copper, and silver in the metallic pack. And like I said, it is in the annual catalog. And what I do is I usually like to use it with a dauber. I'm going to show you that. So I just keep one dauber for each color in the package. Just a little storage tip for you. So we're going to be doing that. And oh, blending brushes. I've got my blending brushes and my ink. So that's all the things that we're going to start out with to make the tags and the cards. So if you missed the very beginning, I just wanted to remind you that we're making these cards today from the Fruitful Blessings bundle, but we're going to start out making this rustic looking, distressed looking tag, and then we're going to go to the coloring. So if you don't care about the coloring, you don't have to stay till the end, but I'm going to go ahead and color them with you just for those of you who would like some tips. So, oh, hey, Anne, no problem. No problem. Anne's going to catch the replay. Oh, Christine's mother also had chrysanthemums. Oh, bloomed in May. Interesting. Yeah. So ours always bloomed in October in Southern California. And let's see. Oh, thank you so much. Crystal says she enjoys my videos and my useful tips. Thank you. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Patricia, Dee, Jean, John, Sherry. So many people jumped on. Thank you. Hi, Shan. Hello, everybody. Hi, Pat. Uh-oh, I froze. Uh-oh, I'm so sorry. It looks good on my end. I'm hoping it's okay. If someone would like to comment and let me know that we are okay, that would be fabulous. That would ease my mind a little bit. We are going to use copper clay, pecan pie, and crumb cake in the creation of our background piece with the Distressed Tile embossing folder. And I have my blending brushes to go with each of those colors. So let's get out the blending brushes and those 3 colors. I'm going to use this little tip that I learned from Stampin' Up CEO Sarah Douglas. She opens up her ink pad and then she gets her corresponding blending brush and she sets it right there in the tray. And that way they're not falling all over and they're not getting ink anywhere that they're not supposed to be. Oops, this is our pecan pie and then our crumb cake. And you don't have to worry about a mess. So I just thought that was such a brilliant tip. I learned that months ago from her and I just love it. So let's see. Oh, good. You do appreciate the coloring tips. Well, good. Okay, we're all good. Thank you so much, everybody. If you are having any issues with freezing, one thing that seems to work for me on a live video is if you click out, like completely click out of Facebook for a minute, and then come back in. And sometimes that just seems to help the whole system. So you might try that. Now, if you don't want to take notes, or you don't want to take screenshots or whatever, don't worry. These instructions are going to be on my blog, pattystamps.com. I guess I should have put my official little sign up here. pattystamps.com is where I blog all of my Stampin' Up! Projects. And tomorrow, September 9th, all of these pictures and step-by-step instructions will be there. Today, you can see the supplies and you can see a little teaser, but tomorrow everything will be there along with the replay. So I printed this out for myself so I wouldn't forget how to make this, because I made this so many weeks ago and then I was afraid I'd forget. So I printed out my own instructions for myself. Is that silly? Is that funny? I think that's hysterical. Anyway, so yes, Judy, you can do that. You can clean the brushes and use them, but I really like having one per color, because then I don't have to wait for them to dry to use them with a different color. But one thing a lot of people will do is have maybe about a dozen brushes, and you could use one for your browns, one for blues, one for greens, oranges, pinks, purples, yellows, greens, and then you don't have to have 50 brushes. I started that way. I started with a dozen, and then the more I started using all my colors, I just went ahead and printed my labels, which there is a free download on my blog for this. I just printed a label, one for each color, and that's just how I roll, but you don't have to. So the first thing I'm doing is inking with my crumb cake. And you always want to have some scrap paper and sort of start off the paper so you don't get some big old blob. And I am going to haphazardly, or I guess randomly is a better word, add ink. My goal is to have some of my, oh, this is very vanilla, by the way, some of my very vanilla showing, some crumb cake showing, and then pecan pie will be my second color. And this is not a project where you want to spend a lot of time trying to get it perfectly blended. You actually want lights and darks and splotches. And that's about all we're going to do. So I know it looks kind of weird, kind of like almost camouflage or something. It's supposed to. It's not supposed to be a perfect blended background. You do want the lights and darks. So that was, again, pecan pie, crumb cake. So now I'm going to spritz this with some water. And I've shown you this before. This was a spray that my hair lady likes to use on my hair. When it was gone, I bought one. When it was gone, I kept it and filled it with water. So this product's not in here. This is water. But I absolutely love this particular little mister. And so for me, it works better than anything else. And so that's why I use it at my desk for water spritzing, watercoloring, whatever. So I'm just going to, let me see, I have to open, there's like a, there we go. So I'm just going to kind of randomly give it some spritzes here. So I'm just kind of looking. I want to give a little spritz up there. Maybe just one more right there. Okay. This is just random, and you want it to give some texture. I'm going to take an old cloth and blot. So I want to soak up the water, but it is going to continue to kind of lift that color. It's going to make some little water splotchy, droppy areas. Can you see this right there? It's already, here, let me use a pointer. It's already lifting some dots of color. I just want it to look distressed and random and almost old, right? I just want a distressed look. And it's going to really enhance the distressed tile folder that I am going to put it through. This is a 3D folder from Stampin' Up. When you have a 3D folder, Stampin' Up! Has always recommended that you actually spritz your paper before you put it in your embossing folder and put it through your die cutting and embossing machine. So not only does this help give it sort of a distressed look, it's going to help it be even more deeply embossed. So I am going to put that in the folder, and I'll put these here while I'm turning around to emboss so that you have something to look at. I'm going to emboss this. And if you're just tuning in, we're creating these distressed looking tags to go behind those focal points. So when we take it out of the embossing folder, you can see that we have lights and darks, and we have those little splotches. We have the 2 colors plus the vanilla. And now we are going to use the copper clay with the blending brush. And this is pretty dark, so you definitely want to test it before you just, go right onto your project. What I'm going to do is super lightly. I am not pressing. I'm holding it back here. I'm just letting the weight of the brush add some ink. And I'm just going to let the weight of the brush put some color on here. And it's just sort of hitting the raised areas. And it is just giving a 3rd color and a little extra dimension. And remember, you don't want to cover up all of the vanilla. You want to be able to see some vanilla. You're seeing the crumb cake, you're seeing the pecan pie, and now you're seeing copper clay. And I know you're probably thinking, well, that's kind of a hot mess. That's not that beautiful, but trust me, we're going to do another step, and then we're going to die cut the tags, and it's going to be gorgeous. It's just really a cool technique. Part of the fun, I have to tell you, of this technique is that there's no right or wrong. You can do whatever you want to achieve any type of a distressed look. You can use a water painter with water in it to do the flicking instead of a spritzer. You can do whatever colors you want. I mean, this is just really fun. It's just a creative process. So now back to the enamel effects that I showed you at the beginning. I am going to squeeze kind of a generous blob there. And this is just a piece of window sheet. You could also use, when you get a new stamp set, this is a red rubber, but when you get a photopolymer set, you know how they're on that clear sheet? You can save those and use that if you don't have a window sheet. And then I'm going to take my sponge dauber and kind of soak up that gold enamel effects. And I'm going to swirl onto my raised area. It's probably hard to see in the video, but this is one of those things where you need to trust me that it looks really pretty in person. I'll hold it up in a minute, but I'll show you. And again, it's haphazard. You're not trying to cover the whole thing equally everywhere. You want it kind of random. Can you see any of the gold shimmer? I'm looking over here on my other screen, and I am not really, uh-oh, did we freeze? Sorry, I'm just catching up with some comments, and Jenny said we're frozen, but okay, it's not frozen. Okay, good. I'm glad we're okay. Anyway, yes. Oh, so you can slightly see it, but you need to trust me that in person, this gold gives you a really neat, just extra added layer of sparkle, of dimension, of just pretty. It's just pretty. I love it. Now, what I am going to do is, I have a little cup of water over here off to the side. I'm going to drop this in my cup of water because I can't immediately go to the sink right now and clean this. If you let this Enamel Effects dry on there, this will become hard and crusty and you won't be able to use it again. So I want to be able to use it again. So I am going to just drop it in the water over here and let it soak while we do this video, and then I'll go clean it. The other thing that I have found is kind of fun with this is if you want to put your puddle there, I have a water painter, and I am just going to get the tip wet in that same cup of water and swirl it into that gold Enamel Effects. I might need to get a little more water because you need this to be a little bit drippy. There we go. And you can do this flicking method where you're getting larger drops, but they have this gold effect to them. So that's another thing you can do with it. Just, this is a fun thing to kind of use your imagination and just sort of play and do whatever you want with this piece. It's just fun. Just fun. Okay, so the die that I used for the tags on the cards that we're creating today is actually from the Merriest Trees bundle. Sorry, I can see there was a glare. I'm sorry about that. This is from the Merriest Trees bundle, and you can easily get 2 die cut tags on this piece. So you kind of want to move it around and decide what portion of this you would like, and then you die cut them, and those are going to be our 2 tags for our cards. So again, let me just put this here for you to view while I turn around and die cut tags. Normally, when I have something that I am die cutting and embossing, I always die cut first, because sending the embossed piece through the die cutting machine a second time flattens the embossing a little bit. Not horribly, but a little bit. But in this case, it's just easier for me to do this quarter sheet all at once and then die cut the tags. So that's what I did. And again, you still on your end, you might be looking at this going, well, that just really looks like a blobby mess. But really in person, these are very cool. They're very distressed. They look like there was something kind of old that was found in, you know, grandma's box of receipts or something. I mean, it's very cool in person. And then you can see when you get the die cut images on top of them that it just is such a neat background for these acorns and these flower images. So those are done, and we can just set those aside. Thank you, Jamie. She said the tags are beautiful. Thank you, Lois. Yeah, the Enamel Effects shimmer is very pretty. Thanks, Glenda. Oh, thank you, everybody. Love the spatter effect. Thank you, Stacy. Tammy, I do think we need a craft day. Have we been saying that for like a year? Yeah, Susan, yeah, she is thanking me for the tip about putting the dauber in the water. So anytime you have something like that and you can't get to the sink right away, just let it soak in the water. Not for hours and hours. But in this case right now, I'm just not going to take the time to run into the bathroom and to wash it out. So that's a good little interim there. Let's see. Dee says, I think you have to wait until the end until deciding how well it works. The samples look great. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you, Polly. Thanks, everybody. I'm glad you're enjoying it. So I promised at the beginning that if you didn't want to stick around to see coloring tips for these images, that you don't have to. If you just wanted to see how to make the distressed tags, we have now done that. You've seen the supplies. You've seen how to do it, what I did, the step-by-step. You can also, like I said, get the information at pattystamps.com. The supplies are all there. If you do not have a demonstrator, you can purchase supplies right off of my blog by clicking the photos of the products. If you need a catalog, the link is there on my blog. But if you would like to stick around, I'm more than happy to have you stick around, and we will be coloring these images next. I will say that these two backgrounds are both die cut with the deckled rectangle dies. This one is pecan pie cardstock embossed with the same distressed tile embossing folder that we did on the tag. This background is the exposed brick folder with the copper clay cardstock. So just kind of similar but different color schemes. This one I wanted warmer to go with the flowers. This one I wanted a little more brown just to go with the acorns. And this is something I haven't used in forever and ever, amen, is thick, very vanilla cardstock for the base. I don't know why. I just never grab vanilla, but I did use it for the tags and I did use it for these images. So you can color on vanilla and it comes out beautifully. Can you see the little speckles in the background? I'll just show you just on this grid paper scrap. If you haven't done that before, you can use any regular marker or Stampin' Blend marker. You use the thick or brush tip, I should say. You place the tip right inside the cap and then you flick down. And do you see these spots? That's what you get. You can do that as a really inexpensive way to create interest on the background of your card. So both of those have that flicking in the background. And then since the tag has a hole, I have used our ribbon and linen thread just to tie up little extras at the top. And these are the, is it neutral or natural? Hang on. Need to grab it. Neutral sequins on both of them because they have the gold, the copper, and the brown, and I just think it's beautiful with this whole ensemble, this whole whatever whatever this is. So we are going to do some coloring. And if you don't want to watch coloring, not a problem. You can jump off and no problem at all. Yes, the abundant beauty flowers would be beautiful with the tags, Lois. Thank you. Thanks, Anne. The speckled confetti. Oh, yes, I remember that, Jolene. We had like cream. I think they called it cream and vanilla and maybe a, oh gosh, what, like a soft suede paper, and they had the speckles. I remember that. That was so pretty. Oh, the gold speckles in the background, Dee. What a great idea. I love that. Oh, thank you, Brenda. She says, I love to watch you color. Thank you. Okay, I will be coloring. I'm going to color. Yes. I'm just checking the comments. So I think I'm caught up. All right, perfect. Like I said, I rarely use vanilla, but I went ahead and stamped these images on vanilla and colored them, and you would almost really never know the difference between the white and the vanilla, at least not in my eye. I don't know. I thought I was really going to see a huge difference and it was going to make the colors look really different, but it didn't. And I've got some extras of this one that I showed you in the beginning, and I die cut those to tuck behind. So those are already done. Remember, I always love to swatch my colors, so those are already swatched. And I did pull out this paper. This is an online exclusive that's been out a couple of months, several months, and it is called Naturally Gilded. And I was thinking that this might actually be really pretty in the background. So if I remember at the very end, I might try this. Because we have the copper and the gold, and it goes with this. So I have that sitting over here just as a maybe. I might use that. I don't know. Haven't decided yet. And since I'm using the vanilla cardstock, I swatched these on vanilla because I wanted to make sure that they would look like, you know, what I thought they would look like. If I would have swatched this on white and then colored on vanilla, might not have actually come out the same. So I just kept all of my markers here that I was using for this project. I kept them together here so that I wouldn't have to hunt for them when we were coloring. And the first thing I did was with my light daffodil, I just kind of randomly, haphazardly added color to this large, I'm going to call it a chrysanthemum. I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. And then I took my dark pumpkin pie, and I'm going to use the small end. And wherever I thought that there would be a darker area, so petals in the back, petals right down towards the center, where petals overlap, I'm hitting it kind of quickly. I'm trying to go quickly on this whole thing because I'm too impatient to do like 3 petals at a time. That's not my jam. I know that you could take a lot more time with this and probably make it be even more detailed if you do just a few petals at a time, but that's not me. I like to go quicker. And then I'm going to use the dark daffodil to sort of blend where the light and dark colors that I just did, blend that, the meeting spot, is that a good way to say it? Where those 2 colors meet. So now I've got 3 colors on there, and you can already see how we have those lights and darks. You know how I've always said that I love it when we have a contrast between light and dark. That's what my eye loves to see. So now I'm going to do Cajun Craze. And you know what? I think on my blog post, no, I guess I didn't. I was going to say I might have listed Calypso Coral, but you could substitute Calypso Coral or Cajun Craze. Both would work. Either would work. So in the darker areas, I'm going to go ahead and add even a darker layer, kind of where those colors, you know, meet down in the center, where some of them overlap. Give just a few little spots of dark, just to give that contrast. And then I'm going to try some light pumpkin pie. And I'm going to start just filling in any area that wasn't colored before. The thing that's hard sometimes is to leave light spots. I don't know about you, but my brain always wants to just sort of fill in everything. But I have to remember, leave those light daffodil, light daffodil, but I'm saying like the lightest areas of the light daffodil, have to leave those, because otherwise, if you don't, you're just going to end up with everything dark. And then one more time with the dark pumpkin pie. Just sort of adding some darker spots here and there so that I have those beautiful contrasts of light and dark. Just kind of randomly. And like I said, if you want to take way more time and you want to do individual petals or like 3 petals at a time, go for it. You can see, I'm just more quick, get it done, and you still have the lights and the darks. And then let's go to the center. I think pecan pie. No, sorry, pumpkin pie. Pumpkin pie. I think I'm going to do some dark pumpkin pie in here. Some light pumpkin pie. And then I'm going to let it dry for just a moment. And I'm going to use my darkest of all of these colors, which is dark Cajun Craze, and add some little kind of stippling. I'm not really coloring, I'm just sort of putting dots. And I'm letting that just get really saturated and dark so that that center looks like it's, really dark. And if you wanted to, you could use this dark one and you could add just some little dots in here to even give more contrast of light and dark in your flower. And the longer you wait in between colors, the more you are going to see that color that you're adding. If you just like color fast, color, it's all going to kind of blend together. So now that I've done that, I feel like I need to blend those out. See, this kind of could be a never-ending thing, right? So I'm using the dark daffodil. I'm just going to blend those dark spots a little bit. Okay, I'm going to stop with that flower. No more. And I'm going to go to these 3 little, I don't know, are these kind of daisy-ish little? There's probably a real name for them. I don't know what they are. So that's light daffodil. I'm going to put some dark daffodil towards the center. I'm going to do really dark here. I'm going to do some dark Cajun Craze in the middle, but leaving a little white spot. And then let's do, I don't know if I'm doing exactly what I did on the first sample. I really don't know, but I'm winging it, doing what I want to do. This is dark pumpkin pie for a 3rd color. Just a few little spots, and then one last time with the dark daffodil to just blend what I just did. And I think that is gorgeous. And that's quick. Look how quick that was. I hope is that focusing okay? I think so. The dimensions of the tag die. Let me measure it for you. So this one, it's just under 3.5 long, and it is 2 1/4 wide. I should look. Did we have other questions? No, we are good. Okay. And then I had not used Moody Mauve, like almost at all. And so I decided to try it. And I thought it was an absolutely gorgeous fall color. So I am doing Moody Mauve around, you can see that, kind of the perimeter. And then I am adding the dark Moody Mauve towards the center. The reason I did them separately is I wanted that dark moody mauve to be even darker. If you color the whole thing with light and then you go over it with dark, it will blend more. This way, the dark is soaking right into the paper, and we're going to put a second layer on there as this dries. So I will color these little berries, I guess, with dark and with light. And then the center, I think I did, pretty sure I did daffodil and just a touch of pumpkin pie, because the orange and purple are complementary colors, and so they look good together. I'm going to leave this dark one out because I'm going to go back and darken in here after we do our green leaves. Dee says, Moody Mauve seems a more popular color than I would have expected it to be. I think it's really beautiful, especially the blend. I can't say that the ink pad is my absolute favorite color, but I really like the blend. That, to me, colors beautifully. So for our leaves, I basically used the lemon lime twist. You could also do parakeet party if you preferred, and I used granny apple green. So I'm just going to leave this one here because I am going to still use it. So those were my 4 greens. You can use, whatever greens you like. So you can see here from my swatches that light lemon lime twist would be the lightest of the 4. And I'm going to use that to put down just sort of a base of green. And then I'm going to go to my darkest, which is dark granny apple. And at the base of these, I'm just going to give a little bit of dark color. And then you can probably guess, because if you've been watching me color a while, you know what I'll do is go in and blend those two together. And as I always say, don't be afraid to turn your project to have it be a natural way to color with your hand. If I would have left it this way and tried to color that, it would have been a very unnatural, it wouldn't have felt right. So don't be afraid to turn. And then I think I'll do some dark lemon lime to blend those two colors together. And then back to my lightest color, the light lemon lime twist, for one last blend. Okay, and then our final step will just be adding that last layer of the dark moody mauve, because I really want those petals to look like they're, going down in towards the center. And just because I'm impatient, I'm just going to blend a little bit with the light moody mauve. And as this dries, as the alcohol evaporates, you'll see that that becomes a really lovely blend of colors. Hold this up so you can see it a little closer. So there we go. We have our fall looking mum, our, I don't know, daisy-ish, whatever those are, and the moody mauve flower, and then our greenery. And I don't know, what do you think? Do you like this palette? I really like this. I think this is a lovely fall palette. These I used on the acorns, so you didn't see me use those yet, but I think this is a really pretty combination. Thank you, Polly. I do see hearts, so thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for the hearts. So we can let's do these real quickly and then die cut these, and I'll show you how this looks when it's layered together. So my browns were the bronze and ivory combo pack. These aren't, Stampin' Up colors, so to speak, but there is this nice combo pack of bronze and ivory. And then out of the is it neutrals or naturals? There's a set of 10 different browns, and this is number 600 in that set. So I think this is the medium set. Yeah, there's sets of 2, and there's like dark, medium, medium light, and light. And this is in the medium, I believe. So thank you. I'm so glad that you like the colors. Thank you so much. Just reading your comments. I really missed you all last week. I was at an eye appointment, and my eye doctor is kind of hard to get an appointment with. She's popular. She's really good. And so when it popped up and it said that she had an appointment on Friday at 11:45, I did hesitate, or 10:45. I hesitated a minute because I knew that I wasn't going to be able to do my live with you. And I was like, oh no, I'm going to miss all my friends. But I had to take that appointment. And so anyway, I did. And all is well. But I did miss you all because I enjoy our time together. Speaking of that, next week I will be here with a video, and then for the 2 weeks after that, I will be on our crafting cruise that I'm co-hosting with Kirsten, and I will not be here for our lives for 2 weeks. So that will be the 22nd and the 29th. I am going to try to go live on the ship on our crafting cruise. I have not stopped to look and memorize what ports or what we'll be doing on those 2 Fridays. But if it's somewhere where I have a good signal, or if the signal is good in our crafting stamp, this isn't the one I want. I'm talking and not paying attention. If the signal is good in our crafting conference room, I will do a live from the conference room to show you all the fun projects that we are working on. We have 36 projects that we're making over the 10 or 11, or I forget. I think it's 11 days. It's a long cruise. So I will do my best. If I can do a live, I will. If I can't, then I'm not going to promise. So that way you won't be disappointed. So there we go. Thank you. Natural Tone Blends, page 136. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Annual catalog. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mary. I'm glad that you like these. Thank you. I'm just looking at your comments. Thank you. So glad that you are enjoying these colors. So if you were here in the beginning, you saw that the Fruitful Blessings dies do cut out these images. And I just have my little pack of Post-it flags. That's what I like to keep my die in place while I go over to my die cutting machine. And I use them over and over. You can use them, I don't know, 4 or 6 times before they sort of become not sticky anymore. Let's see, do I have that? I think that's about good. Oops, I just moved it. Okay, so I'm going to die cut these, and then we are going to look at them layered on top of the tags that we did. they pretty? I think they're so beautiful. So when I was originally designing these projects, I was just going to do them like this. And then especially the acorn, I thought, you know, I kind of think the acorn could have a little something, something extra. And so I did stamp and die cut a second one. So you can see here that I have another image behind. So if you just die cut it, you get two. I stamped it again. I die cut another acorn and another set of leaves, and I tucked it behind because I just thought that it just needed a little something extra for my eye. And then you saw these, that I stamped a page of these and I colored them and die cut them. And I used that to tuck behind as well. I thought that it looked nice with a little extra something. I also did that for this image. Gave it, see, I liked how it went off the edge of the tag, which was the main reason I did it. You know, you can do what you'd like. And then let me show you the tip. If you haven't seen it, I shared this on Instagram. I actually like dumpster dived this out of my recycle bin. Instead of grabbing green cardstock, I took my blends, and in this scrap area here of my cardstock, I colored with the 4 greens that we used. So again, lemon lime twist and granny apple green. And then those tiny little leaf dies, do you remember I showed you these at the beginning? I just put those right on top of what I colored. And then here, I'll put them here so you can see. And so then you get these really pretty little leaves that have more than one color. If I would have just grabbed lemon lime twist cardstock or granny apple green cardstock, you wouldn't have that pretty blend. Can you see how they're more than one color? I hope that's showing up. But that's what I did. And then I thought those are so pretty. I love this. So don't want to lose those. But I used these then to tuck in and around and give, you know, a little extra. You can put them wherever you'd like. There, I think that would be really pretty. So I'll probably do that with that one. And it just gives a little extra something, something to the card, I think. I think that's really pretty. So just to finish off, let's finish one of these. I do have my thick, very vanilla for my card base. By the way, I just want to tell you something that's a personal preference of mine. With the Stampin' Up! Bone folder, you know, it has this logo. I see a lot of people using their bone folder like this. This color will transfer onto your cardstock. Over time, as it starts wearing, you can get this black ink on your cardstock. So I never use that end to burnish my fold. I always use the pointed end like this. It's just a personal preference, but it's also a tip if that's ever happened to you and you're thinking, well, yeah, that makes sense. Just something to think about. So what I was thinking, remember I showed you these 2 pieces? This is the naturally gilded. This one is gold and vanilla. This one is white and copper. I was sort of wondering if we put that on, and oh, it might need another layer of something in between like this. But I was thinking that could be really pretty with this. I'm going to go ahead. If you want to jump off, if you're done, if you're like, yeah, I get the idea, I understand, I can make this now, feel free. I won't be offended if you are done. But I'm going to keep working on this, and I'm going to see what I want to do to finish this card. I think this could be a really lovely background. The vanilla looks good with the vanilla. I like it. Mary, this is all vanilla. Yeah, everything is vanilla. So vanilla base, the pieces that I colored and die cut are all vanilla. Everything's vanilla. And I was mentioning how when I swatched my colors, I swatched them on the vanilla as well, so that it would be a really true representation of my finished images. Yes, that specialty paper is gorgeous. It is an online exclusive. It's not in any catalog. So let's just go ahead. Let's put this on. I'm going to go ahead and build the flowers and leaves on the tag, and then I'm going to decide if I want something in between them. So, you know, I love my little foam adhesive pieces, and I always have a container here of extra pieces that I like to use up. So let's use a piece. I feel this just gives a little bit better than a whole bunch of dimensionals. Oh my goodness, I used all those up. Well then, I need to get a new, here it is. Here's one. Never mind. Let's do a little reinforcement right there and there. Oops, sorry. Sorry. Didn't mean to bump the camera. So sorry. So if we do that, I'm not going to push it down all the way because I'm going to slip this kind of right there. Nope, not there. It needs to go down. Please hold. I think it needs to go right about I don't know. I like it how I had it right before we started this, and now I'm not replicating that, but it's all right. It's going to be fine. It's just a card. A little bit of glue and a little bit of glue. I think this is so pretty. You know how I always talk about patty colors, and usually that means like red, orange, yellow, but I like this. I love this with the Moody Mauve. I'm really enjoying this color palette. Let's see. Oh, do you cut up? So Shan is asking about like these extras. Do I cut this up and put it in there? I never thought about that, Shan, but it's brilliant. That's brilliant. I should do that. I love that. Let's see. What about another tag under the brown? Underneath the brown. Another tag underneath the brown. Not sure what that means. Okay. Hi, Leanne. We are just ending, so feel free to watch the replay if you would like to watch from the beginning. We are just in the last like 3 minutes of our video. So I'm feeling like this is a little lost, and I think we need some kind of a layer under there. So I'm just going to grab from my neutral area and just slip some colors under here. Not black, not gray. Oh, that's blah. I think we need something different. Hang on. What else? Hang on, I'm just going to grab. Don't know. I'm trying. This is. What about Moody Mauve? What about Moody Mauve? Let's see. I know I have a piece of it cut here. Oh, I don't. Well, I was going to say I don't think I'll like it, but, you know, you never know. No. That's a no for me. That's so funny how sometimes I get all excited and then I think about it and then I'm like, oh, nope, that's a no. That is a no. What about pecan pie? For my eye, that's the winner. So I'm going to kind of replicate this. I am going to do a deckled piece. I might not emboss it. I might not. Let me see. So pretty. Isn't that beautiful? I don't know that it needs embossing. I don't think it would hurt it. But I'm thinking maybe the crosshatch folder. Sorry, I know you all are like, get on with it and finish this card. But I'm going to try it. See what this looks like. This is that basics. There's that set of 3 embossing folders. This is the basics 3D folder crosshatch. I think that's nice. I think that added like just a little something something to it. Yeah, that's really pretty. That's really lovely. All right, let's finish this card, my friends. We probably could have added some ink blending around the edges of this, but I really don't want to detract from this tag. So we'll let that go. Can you see that folder in the background? I think it's pretty. Let's oh wait, what was that? Stick the tag on a cut around it, leaving a small margin. Oh, like, okay, I know what you mean, Shan. So if I would have layered this on and then cut around the shape of the tag, that would have been really pretty. I'm sorry I didn't understand what you were saying at first. But yes, that would have been lovely as well. Then I pulled out just a few ribbons that I thought might be pretty. You can see that I used the copper and the linen thread on this one. And then I have this natural one here with the linen thread. I was wondering, I really haven't used this much. I'm wondering if this is going to be... Oh, I kind of like that. Oh, I like that a lot. I'm going to do that. I am going to do that. So this is the copper clay textured ribbon. I never know which one is the English one, and I'm always like, I don't know, Reuben texture, and I don't know. Anyway. And then I'll just tie it up with some linen thread. While I'm doing that, just so you know, linen thread does not come on a beautiful spool like that. That was from my either great grandma or great aunts, or I can't remember exactly whose this one was. I think it was my great grandma, because she and my grandma did a lot of quilting, and I just have a bunch of spools that I have of theirs, and I roll my linen thread on there because it just makes me happy. And I think of them, and I think of all the projects that they made over all their lifetime, and it almost gives me chills to think of the fact that I am using something that they used decades ago, long time ago. Just, it makes me happy. So that's why mine is on a spool. And the reason I stuck this down first, and then I'm tying this, is that it's much easier for me to tie this if my tag is in place than trying to do it while it's up in the air. I'm not good at that if it's all flopping around in the air. So I like to stick my tag on my project and then do my bow tying. So I doubled the linen thread. I like the look of double linen thread personally, so that's why it's doubled. But I'm gonna make these kind of uneven. I like that. Whoop! Almost sent that flying across my room. Oh, I think that's so pretty. And then, of course, our sequins. I almost think that this one does not need a greeting. I don't know. What do you think? And I'm going to go with gold sequins because of the gold in our naturally gilded paper. Oh, I think that's so pretty. What do you think? Do you like it? I really like it with that background. And what I might do with this one is I will use this copper piece, but do you see down here for another project how I ink blended on it? I think I might do that so that we aren't mixing and matching the white and the vanilla. So I think I might try it, and I'll see how that looks, and I'll probably put that on Instagram or something at some point. So there we go, my friends. Do you like them? I think they're so pretty. I love how it turned out. So again, it's the Fruitful Blessings, and it is on page 45 in the holiday catalog. And if you need a catalog or supplies, I would love it if you visit me at pattystamps.com. And I would love to help you with your orders or your supplies or your projects or whatever you are working on. Thank you, Polly and Janet, Keisha, Kathleen, Susan, oh, Karen. Oh, thank you, everybody. So many people, too many to name. I thank all of you for hanging out today. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I hope you get some crafting time. And I will be back next week on the 15th with a live. And then, like I said, for 2 weeks, I will be on our crafting cruise. So no lives for those other 2 weeks. Oh, good. Kathleen says she can't wait to make these. Yay. Oh, Patty's going to try the technique on the tags. Yay, Patty. I'm so glad. Thanks, Dee. I like the gold background as well. I really do. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, everybody. I will see you all next week. Have a fabulous weekend. Bye-bye.